Hello and welcome to the first question. As you notice, I did write the question here inside the SQL editor, but I started with the two dashes in order to create a comment so it doesn't disturb my actual query when I write it. So I have dash, dash, and I have dash, dash. This is how we comment documents in SQL. The question is to show the product's name, the product's price, the quantity for each product. Of course, this is coming from the order details, and to create a subtotal where it is the quantity multiplied the price. Of course, we're going to create a name for it. If we don't create a name for it, it's going to show as quantity multiplied by the price. Let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. First of all, we have two tables. We have the products. That's where the product's name is going to come from. So let me show this quickly by running this query by saying select everything from products, just to assure myself that the product's name is inside of it. Obviously, it's right here. Since they're asking me, the price is coming also from the products, so I take a point of that. Take a note, sorry, of concerning this. If I do change this, select asterisk everything from order detail, okay, and order details table. If I run this, you'll notice that the quantity is coming. So since the quantity in the order details, the product's name in the products table, in the price is in the products table, I have to join those two tables, and I'm going to go ahead and do an inner join for those. Therefore, we're going to be using also a calculated field in order to create the subtotal between the two. So we must use both tables. So therefore, we're going to always start accessing these field names by preceding them by the name of the table. We start with select to solve this problem. And we're going to select products, starting products. That's the name of the table, products name. That's the first field. And I'm going to go ahead and say products. We could do the price, or we could get the quantity directly. If I do want the quantity, then I have to change that to the order details. That's where it's coming from. Order details quantity. All right, and we're going to go ahead and say products, price. That's where it's coming from. And in this case, before we do the calculated field, I'm going to go ahead and run this without the calculating the field by showing you the inner join from. We're going to go ahead and say products. Okay, inner join. Okay, inner join order details. I hope you could see that products is the one in the relationship, and order details is going to be the many. So both of these two tables have to have the product's ID because knowing that one has to be repeated in the other table as a foreign key. So this makes it easy for us when I do the joining. We'll have to put the word on, and I'm going to say here products dot product ID must be equal to order detail, and for the inner joins dot products also ID. That's really what actually do the link between the two tables. Let's go ahead and run this. Hopefully, if I didn't do any misspelled. Oh, I got the product's name, I got the quantity, and I got the price. So here, I'm going to go back to this side here, and I'm going to create the calculated field where it's going to be the quantity. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and paste it right here just to save a couple minutes in the video. And that's going to be multiplied by the products, knowing that it's coming from price, knowing that it's coming from the products table. And it's going to be also multiplied by this. I'm going to close the parentheses, and I'm going to say here as the subtotal. So I'm creating the alias here with the name of the calculated field subtotal. I didn't change anything. The join is still there, exactly how I left it earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and run this, and you should be able to see another column, and that is going to be the column which is represented the quantity multiplied by the price. This should answer this question, and you could take your time in order to look at the actual query and how we wrote it. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that next question, which is number 5 in the homework that I gave you, which is going to be, let me go ahead and read that question very quickly. I'm going to go back to Word, see where did I put that. And in a second, we should be able to see it. 1 second. Okay, here we go. This is the solution. And here we go for the question. Open the questions. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take that actually and copy this, leave that open here, close this one here. I don't need it. So we'll go ahead and read that question very easily. And we're going to go ahead and make this right there here. So we're going to go ahead and put that also as a comment. So the question is, to read it, is going to be show the product name, the supplier name, and the supplied number for each product. Hence, use the products in supplier table. That's basically where the join is coming from. And think about count function and group by. All right, so we need to get actually 2 things before I do this. I'm going to go ahead and look at, first of all, I need the product name, so I'm going to leave it from the previous query. Now we need the supplier name, so I'd have to be coming from the table suppliers, and now supplier name. Okay, that's how it is in the table. And let's go ahead and do that before we do any grouping or anything, just to get it from the table. So we're going to say here from suppliers. Okay, and I'm going to say here inner join on join the products. Okay, on, and we're going to go ahead and say that products is in with the supplier. The supplier is the one, and the product is the many. So the product is going to be connected with the supplier ID. Okay, so this is going to be the supplier ID. Of course, with the suppliers, that is the one in the relationship with the supplier ID. And that will actually give me 2 things at this moment. It will give me the product's name and the supplier name. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. There is a mistake here. One of the products misspelled, as I usually do. So here we go, products, supplier ID. Here we go. So it should be, here we go. Let's go ahead and run it. And here we got the supplier name and the product's name. So the question still actually require from me to look at the I wanted to be able to see the supplied number for each product. Supplied number for each product. That is coming from, okay, if I take this query, I'm going to go ahead and cut it, still in the memory. And I'm going to run this query from the products. Here we go. That's the action table in relation to the supplier. Supplier is going to be only listing the supplier. And notice here we have the product's name. The product's supplier name is coming from the supplier. So what we need to do in this case here is to count the number of the, as we say here, number for each product. So we're going to actually, after we do the join, we need to look at what is needed to be counted. I would not be able to count the supplier ID in the supplier table. That would be silly because there's only one supplier ID. But if you notice here, we have supplier ID for multiple products. So the product is being repeated multiple times along with the different supplier ID. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do it very clearly by pasting that. Okay, we're going to add another one here, and we're going to say count. That is the count table. We're going to say count product dot supplier ID. That's where the count must be coming from. I could go ahead and say as a number of products. Okay, and it's not going to be, if I run this, it's going to give me the sum of all of them or the total of all of them because I did not group them yet. And let me go ahead and products name. Here we go. And let's go ahead and run it. It's going to give me one value. So how do I actually break the each product by its suppliers or how many products were supplied by certain supplier? So I have to go ahead and say group and don't group by, you group it by this. Okay, don't say the count. Of course, group by, you group it by what you did count. Okay, products, products, dot supplier ID. So let's go ahead and run this, and you will see that we're going to get, of course, the number of the products for each supplier name. I hope this helped so far. We're going to continue